Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another video. I am Jody Dean, Mr. Hunting the Dead. Today we are traveling to Marilyn Mitchell's grave. This young lady was murdered, ruthlessly murdered. She was stabbed 38 times. She was raped and murdered. She had a fiance, she had a family, her career, her life was just getting started. She was a young lady. She was living in a pretty good area. That was something that was important to her family. She moved to this area, and a guy that delivered furniture to her then came back and raped her and murdered her, stabbed her 38 times days later. This case, my wife was telling me about it, and again, this is another sad one here, but it seems like you guys liked that last video. And to be honest with you, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, to revisit some of these cases that people forget about, they don't talk about. And in my opinion, that's the worst thing, is to forget about people, especially somebody like this that they deserved more time. They deserved a fair chance at life. This young lady was working hard. I cannot imagine the trauma this caused her family, her fiance, her friends. They say that the community where this happened is still very traumatized by this, and this is a story that doesn't let a lot of people sleep. So we're heading to her grave. I'm going to show you guys some of the original footage, some pictures along the way, and I'm going to tell you the story from beginning to end right now. So I want to give you guys a quick warning real quick. This is a very disturbing story, so if you have a weak stomach, you may want to fast forward a little bit. Okay guys, I decided to come into this mausoleum here because it was nice and quiet. And also, I've caught paranormal activity here before, a long time ago, way before I knew who Marilyn K. Mitchell even was. Some basic information right here, as we are here at Woodlawn Memorial Gardens in Ozark, Dale County, Alabama. I'm gonna read you guys some of the story here. The state's evidence tends to show the following. In the spring of 1990, Marilyn Mitchell graduated from the University of Alabama School of Nursing and moved to Dothan, where she was to begin her nursing career and to marry. Miss Mitchell was 5 feet 1 inches tall, and she weighed around 110 pounds. So she was just a little thing. Her friends recalled that she was a cautious individual and that she always kept her apartment doors locked. She moved into a townhouse in Dothan where she and her fiance intended to reside after they married later that summer. On May 14th, 1990, Artez Hammonds and another individual delivered newly purchased bedroom furniture to Mrs. Mitchell's townhouse and placed the furniture in the second floor master bedroom. On the evening of May 15th, 1990, Mrs. Mitchell's fiance came to the townhouse and discovered the front door unlocked. He heard water running in the upstairs bathroom, and as he climbed the stairs, he discovered Marilyn Mitchell's blood-soaked body lying in the hallway at the top of the stairs. He telephoned the police. The police investigation revealed that Marilyn Mitchell was apparently in the downstairs kitchen baking a cake when she was attacked. There were no signs of forcible entry. When Mrs. Mitchell's body was found at the top of the stairs, she was dressed only in a t-shirt, naked from the waist down, and she was lying on her back in a large pool of blood. Her legs were spread wide apart. Forensic reports indicated that Mrs. Mitchell's had been repeatedly stabbed and cut with a knife in the neck and chest. The wounds to the neck perforated her jugular veins and carotid artery and caused massive bleeding. There were over 30 lacerations to the neck area, including a wound that severed the voice box. There was also evidence of ligature strangulation, possibly from Mrs. Mitchell's t-shirt, which had been used to restrain her. And the opinion of the medical examiner, all of these wounds were inflicted while Mrs. Mitchell was still alive. Oh my God. There were 2 extremely violent stab wounds to the chest area, one of which penetrated Mrs. Mitchell's sternum and punctured her aorta. Another vicious stab wound to the chest actually cut through 3 ribs. The medical examiner opined the stab wound that punctured the aorta was the wound that finally killed Mrs. Mitchell. Swabs taken from Mrs. Mitchell's vaginal and anal cavities indicated the presence of spermatozoa. Although there was no evidence of anal penetration, semen was also found on a paper tissue found in a bedroom next to a bed. The comforter on the bed was missing. Blood spatters were also found in the home. Evidence indicates that the attacker may have cleaned up after the attack, positioned the body, smoked a cigarette, and then flicked ashes on Mrs. Mitchell's body. In addition to the comforter, Mrs. Mitchell's engagement ring and approximately $400 were also apparently taken from the townhouse. That shit just broke my heart reading that, man. You know, I make horror films for a living, but in real life, it just devastates me. It saddens me to hear things like this. You know, horror films are not reality. They are a way for us to escape reality. But the truth is this is a real horror. The police investigation continued for many years without success until in 1996, the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences conducted DNA testing on the semen samples recovered at the crime scene and discovered that the genetic characteristics of the tested samples were more likely to be found among black males than white males. This new information led police investigators back to the furniture delivery men. Police discovered that Artez Hammonds had been convicted for the attempted murder of another woman and that he was serving a 20-year sentence at Hallman Prison. Because Hammonds was a convicted felon incarcerated in an Alabama penitentiary, a sample of his blood was drawn pursuant to the Alabama Combined DNA Indexing System, blah, 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 blah. And the sample was sent to the Alabama Department of Forensic Sciences for DNA analysis and comparison. The forensic scientist who conducted the DNA analysis testified that the DNA taken from Hammond's blood sample matched the DNA contained in the semen found on the paper tissue, that spermatozoa found on the vaginal and anal swabs, and the blood stains located on the inside of the door and baseboard of Miss Mitchell's home. Additionally, Hammond's thumbprint was found on the telephone in the victim's bedroom. Testimony also revealed that after the murder, Hammond's had in his possession a diamond ring similar in appearance to Miss Mitchell's engagement ring. He later pawned the ring. So once again, here's a case where DNA came to light, and thanks to the DNA testing, thanks to forensic sciences, a good reason that you kids out there should definitely stay in school and go for these kind of things. We need more people to solve these cases. It brings closure to those. Had it not been for the DNA testing, would this guy be out there doing this to other women, to other people? No telling how many people he hurt until he was finally caught. All right, guys, so I'm walking around looking for Marilyn's grave right now. The way these graves are, they're flat. They don't have like headstones. So it's a lot harder
it's a lot harder to find them. But I got some help here. Alicia's looking, the kids are looking for me. We were on a little bit of a trip over here together, and I said, you know, guys, I really want to cover this story, so they're helping me try to find this grave right now. See, they're all flat, so it's not like you can drive by and just wait. I see the name Mitchell. That ain't it. Right here. Oh my God, I found it. Okay, I just found it. I wanted to stop it real quick because I had to yell to them. But Marilyn K. Mitchell, beloved daughter of Gene and Norma Mitchell, born June 13th, 1967, died May 15th, 1990. It's pretty how they got the flowers going around it. We really walked around a lot more than what I filmed, the guys, looking for this, looking for her headstone here. Somebody's brought flowers more recently. I mean, these are artificial, but they look fairly new. Just to think we're standing here at a young lady's grave that was stabbed 38 times. Man, it does something to you. The energy, it hurts your heart a little bit. You feel a little pain in the chest. Beautiful cemetery. It's just it's crazy that they don't have like the headstones that are usually, you know, standing up. They're all laying flat. It'd be almost impossible for you to find somebody here without walking the whole thing as I did. Crazy thing about this video, I don't usually do these kind of videos. I usually do something called Randonautica. If you guys are familiar with me, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the channel, I've ended up at this place before using like geocaching apps on Scary Adventures. I've ended up at this mausoleum. So it's kind of crazy that the second story I've decided to cover here, that once again I've ended up somewhere that I've actually been before. This happened in the last video that I covered like this. So guys, so Alicia's pulling up something right now she's gonna read to us. Now, is this about him choosing his death sentence?
Right. So it was 6 years after she died that a jury convicted him. The Houston County Circuit Judge, now retired, imposed the death penalty for the most heinous crime to ever occur in Dothan. However, approaching about 35 years now, Hammonds is still on death row with no execution date.
So this guy is still on death row with no execution date. What are they doing? He's on death row. Put him down. It's mind-blowing to me. I mean, I know that DNA has come a long way, so it took them a few years to get a DNA lock on this guy and to lock him away. But it's mind-blowing to me that it took 6 years to convict him, and now he, you know, for a long time he's just been sitting on death row, getting 3 meals a day. I mean, he's not living in a Hampton or anything by any means, but I think it's time that they go ahead and they set the date. I just stole Alicia's phone real quick. She had it brought up here where she was reading from, and I see Alabama lawmakers passed a bill authorizing the use of nitrogen hypoxia as an alternative to traditional execution methods. Inmates, including Hammonds, were allowed to choose how they died. He picked hypoxia, which would essentially strangle him. You know, it's crazy. You think about that. I mean, he strangled her basically by cutting her jugular up, making it to where she couldn't breathe. Probably suffocated on her own, her own blood. Her vocal box was severed to where she wouldn't be able to scream. I mean, she probably couldn't even yell for help.
She couldn't do anything.
She was at.
And she felt every single thing that he did.
She felt it all, and that's
part of the autopsy, that she was alive during everything.
That's severely disturbing to know that this woman that just graduated from college, was getting ready to start her medical career, had a great job lined up, new place, new furniture,
was gonna get married,
family, gonna get married, all over getting, you know, I've talked about this so many times. criminals of opportunity. This guy delivered furniture, and in his mind, he was thinking what he wanted to do to this woman, and then he returned and he did it. I practice what I preach, and I preach this to my friends all the time in my family. The cable guy came over the other day. I watched him like a hawk. I took notes of what he was taking notes of. He was complimenting on things in my home. He was talking about things, and I'm just thinking to myself, okay, where are you going with this, buddy? You have to be so careful, guys. You have to watch your back, watch the people's backs you love. Don't trust anybody. This guy was a criminal of opportunity. He was probably casing, okay, I can come in through this door. This girl weighs about 110 pounds. I can easily overpower her.
5'1".
She's 5'1", you know, I have a friend that's like 5'2", 115 pounds. And you know, every time I give her a hug, I feel like I'm gonna break her. So, you know, this big guy, just, it's sad. It's really sad. I want to apologize for my dirty windshield here, guys. We're pulling back around to Miss Mitchell's grave here. You know, how I got started in the whole YouTube world was doing paranormal stuff. And then I started doing scary geocaching adventures using Randonautica and Scaranoia app, my app. But I want to go back to my roots real quick, keep it real 100%, and listen, doing so, I can tell you, I'm about to use a device to see if we get any responses here, and I cannot guarantee whatsoever that it is her speaking. Do I believe the device works? Absolutely. I've been using it for years. I'm friends with a lot of the tech people that make these kind of devices. Pretty much what they do is they make these word banks that can be manipulated through energies that you or I are not producing. So, you know, basically look at this as an app that has a word bank of words, and if there was a spirit here, they could use their energy to put what words they want on the screen. Marilyn Mitchell, my name is Jody Dean. I mean, no disrespect, no harm by being here. Alicia and I came across your story, and it breaks my heart. I know it's broken many people, and I just want to see, is there anything you could say to me that would let me know if you're okay on the other side? Make sure the volume's up. We may or may not get something, guys, so this is just, you know, I didn't plan on doing this, but it's something I feel compelled to do, because I will tell you, I have caught paranormal evidence here one time, or at least what I believe to be paranormal. Miss Mitchell, you were going in the medical field. You were going to be married. Your whole life was ahead of you. And a guy that delivered your furniture came back days later and he raped and killed you. Reading your story just a moment ago, my heart's actually still hurting. No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong.
No, that's wrong. What an unusual, unique response for the first response. No, that's wrong. We are going off what is in court documents, what is online. So if I'm wrong about anything, I apologize. Can you tell me what happened to you? Can you tell me if you're at peace on the other side? I know it's pretty windy out here, guys. If it's distorting the audio, I apologize. It's a mean, nasty cloud brewing up over here. Looks pretty. I say mean and nasty. I like it.
I lived right here.
I lived right here. You know, we don't know if we're talking to Marilyn or not. There could be somebody else communicating with this. I don't believe in technical difficulties with this app. I believe that it works 100%. But let's be honest, we're at a cemetery. There could be tons of spirits here. And I'm not here to make anybody a believer either, guys. If you know, use your own judgment. I'll just tell you that I believe that spirits can communicate with us anywhere. I mean, we could be in a Walmart and communicate with a spirit. My intention is to communicate with Marilyn K. Mitchell, daughter of Gene and Norma. Were you born in 1967? Marilyn? Marilyn Mitchell. Ryan. Hey, Alicia. Oh, she's not paying attention to me. I'm gonna get her. Hey, look up what her fiance's name was. I just got the name Ryan. If there's another Ryan right here, maybe. Wouldn't that be interesting? You just take a quick look. See if there's another grave with the name Ryan on it, like really close. That would be compelling. I don't see it. Seen the name Johnny like 5 times since I walked through here though. So far we got the responses: Ryan, I lived right here. No, that's wrong. First response was no, that's wrong. John? That's crazy. I was just talking about how I've seen a lot of graves with the name John on it. Johnny. One right there. It's not her John, I don't think, but Marilyn, they keep secrets.
They keep secrets.
Who keeps secrets? The criminals? Family? The authorities? Other spirits? Miss Mitchell, there is a whole community, a whole county. There's people, I'm sure, across the world that have heard about your story, and this saddens, because it's I just want you to know that reading that you were stabbed, that you were raped, that your life was taken from you so violently, so brutally, that there is somebody here that feels for you and your family. And even on the other side, I hope you feel the sincereness of us being here. We don't do anything that we don't enjoy doing. And that's why before starting these videos and doing what we're doing right now, we talked about what would we enjoy. And I believe that that's telling people's story and giving those people a voice that didn't get a chance to be heard. You were robbed of your chance. Marilyn, aggressive.
Aggressive.
What is aggressive? The man, whoever hurt you was aggressive? I'm not the road.
The road.
The road. Interesting. I'm gonna need a battery change here in a minute, guys, so I'll have to cut this footage in a second, but I want to give it a fair chance. Can you tell me something about your last day alive? The last day of your life, something you remember? Miss Mitchell? You know, sometimes when I come to these places, I feel an energy when I'm locking on to something, but I'm not feeling anything direct from Miss Mitchell. I'll just be honest with you guys. I'd love to believe that she's communicating with us, but she might be in the Lord's kingdom right now, you know? I don't really know how it works. I don't feel a direct "you see me."
You see me.
I would love to see you. I'd love for people to see and hear more of your story. I feel a peacefulness here. Guys, I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm gonna use a SLS real quick. It's a camera that us ghost hunters use that will allow you to see spirits in stick form. I'm just gonna shoot it straight out towards her grave. We got a nice wide angle here, so there's a nice wide spread, and I want to see if anything pops up. It may or may not. In the last video that we did like this, we had something laying at the top of Miss Baker's grave. Looked like it was laying sideways on the ground, almost the shape of like a little kid, which made me believe that it could have been you know, possibly somebody buried there that nobody's aware of, like one of those unmarked graves. Not getting anything though. Which is also good, because I mean, you don't want these apps to work every time, guys. Like, you want them to work when it's real, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you just point this thing and it shows up everywhere, then you got an issue. But these tech guys, they're the real deal. So yeah, nothing's showing up there. We'll give it another second, but basically, if a spirit were to be there, it could show up in a stick form. Anything that's human-like energy, those molecules, those air energies in the air, this will map them out as a stick figure. There's a lot of energy right now because it's getting ready to storm. Yeah, nothing.
May she keep him
Yeah, Miss Mitchell, may you continue to rest in peace here. Hopefully you're at peace. And oh, I think that was just me turning it off, guys. May you continue to keep resting in peace. I hope that you are. And we thank you for communicating with us, if that's what you did, or any spirits here. I wanted to say just Miss Mitchell, but all the suffering here, thank you. And we're going to keep continuing to telling people's stories, telling stories one at a time. One thing I do on this channel that's very different than this is I do something called Randonautica. You heard me mention it a little bit ago. Randonautica and Scaranoia app. That's where I can be my regular, everyday, kooky, goofy self. But when I come and do these videos, I try and approach them with more respect, because that's what, you know, that's what these spirits are due. So hopefully you guys like all the content here on the Hunting the Dead channel. I do post pretty regularly, so make sure your notifications are on. Love you guys so much. Thank you for your support, all the new members, all the patrons out there. We'll be back in a few days, but until then, sweet nightmares.
Some pussy, I just keep it real. Man, I'm fucking high, head in the clouds. I just fucked your bitch on my baby mama's couch. Done with playing games, all my friends are lame. Since I got the fame, every motherfucker changed. I was born a hustler, always on my grind. Some flowers and pills, it's a way to pass the time. All I see are sunflowers in these dreams of mine. I take pills, I don't know what is wrong or right. Suicide is on my mind. I take pills. Told my dad, you best abort that baby. But she went and had me, and it drove that dude crazy. 1 million in 5 years, haters wanna kill me. Teacher said I failed, now they wanna fuck me. Bitch, I'm Michael Myers, how I cut like a knife. When she come through, she always fuck me twice. I just made this beat, bitch, cause I was high. Pills and sunflowers, I can see it.